Hi, Josh here. Wanted to come to you today in regards to customers not being loyal. It's something that most of us have to go through in sales and business where, customers aren't loyal. They'll go to you and, they'll work with you. They'll say, buy a product or service or, fund a transaction with you. And, then you call them back a few months later and they went with somebody else during that term and they didn't tell you. And unfortunately, that's business, that's life. You can't really control the uncontrollables. However, today I'm going to give you 5 ways to be able to work through that and better your odds of being able to retain that client for the lifetime rather than losing them. The first way of being able to build a really good relationship with somebody and make it so that customer stays loyal is building that relationship with them. That's the first step. Get to know them on a personal level, whether it's, they like to fish, they like to hunt, they like baseball, they like football, and then really get to know who their teams are, and just have a really good conversation with them and really get to know them. So every time that you talk with them, you really have a good, just touching base. Like, for instance, if you worked with a client, 2 weeks ago, giving them a call this week saying, hey, listen, I know that we spoke, we worked together, is everything going well? Hey, how's the bite going if he likes fishing? Or are you excited for the upcoming hunting season? Or, hey, I was, watching that basketball game. Did you see, that play? So the thing is you need to be able to build that relationship and build that rapport, right? 2, you really need to be able to set expectations with the client and really build out a long-term plan with them, right? Because a lot of times people are so focused on that one sale today and that's the only sale they talk about. Instead of talking about what the real long-term goals are with that client and being able to figure out what the possibilities are of being able to work together in the future. Because I've had many instances in the past, and that's obviously just learning, that when I just focused on that one transaction that was right in front of me, that's a lot of times when I lost a client, it's because I never talked about what was B, C, and D transaction. I was only focused on A. So you really need to be able to talk about the future goals with your clients. Another way of being able to make sure the client understands that we need that customer to be loyal is you need to be able to talk to them and set expectations and say, hey, listen, I understand a lot of competition is going to reach out to you after we do work together. However, if you do end up going with someone else, that may harm, our ability of being able to get you a good deal or better rates or better terms, or in general, just a better product if you do end up going with the competitor, which I have no problem. However, what I do request of you is please call me anytime you're thinking of anything. And, I would love to be able to, work with you. And I don't want you going to the competition, obviously. Am I going to make you not? No. I mean, of course, that's, you have the ability of going on your own. However, I want you to be able to go through with us. So please make sure that you give me a call. Another way is staying in touch often, right? Stay in touch more than you think you would. You're not going to annoy the client, and even if you do annoy the client, at the end of the day, it's about you retaining that client. And to tell you the truth, if anyone gets annoyed, a customer gets annoyed that you're calling a little bit too much, they're going to tell you, and they're going to tell you, hey, how often, they're going to want you to follow up with them. So for instance, if I was calling a client every, say, 3 days after we worked with them, and they said, hey, listen, it's really not necessary that you need to call this many times. If you want to touch base with me every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, that's fine. There's your end. You can call them every 2 weeks because they gave you permission, and that's going to obviously increase your chances that you're going to be able to retain that client. The last thing I want to say is at the end of the day, are you going to be able to retain 100% of your clients? No. You're not going to be able to do it. It's inevitable that you're going to lose some clients. However, a lot of times when that happens, your initial instinct is to be rude and say whatever and just let the deal go, or maybe you were rude to them, maybe you say, you never want to work with them again, but always keep that door open because there's certain situations where a lot of good can come out of, hey, listen, I know you made that decision, it's okay, it's water under the bridge, all I'm asking is on the next transaction, I'd like the opportunity to be able to earn your business once again. For example, I had a client on one of our past videos, his name was Harvey, and we did end up
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Harvey, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, but I feel like I'm talking to a 30-year-old every time I talk to you.
Well, that's nice to hear.
You're young at heart, right?
Yes. And Josh, I went with the other guys on this last one.
You did?
I did.
And we did end up losing him to a competitor. And that really sucked because I worked with that client for a long time. And we lost that customer to them. And come to find out, he actually came to us a month later after that, and we had the ability of being able to fund him not only once, but twice after he already went with the competition. So not only that, he respected me and came back to me, even though we ended up going with a competitor without letting me know. Stuff happens, but I didn't burn the bridge and I could have. So, retain the clients by controlling what you can control, and that's building relationships, staying in touch with the clients, setting right expectations, figuring out their future plans, and letting them know what to expect if they do end up going with competition. Thank you.